Tommy,
Yes.
welcome. How are you feeling?
Feeling absolutely fantastic. I've got a couple of meals in me. Only one day of this. Go home, have a good sleep.
Let's jump straight in. How do you train for KSI, an unorthodox style like KSI?
Pretty similar to the way I did it last time. Jake Paul, again, not a natural boxer. Very unorthodox, throws punches at different angles. And it's sort of the same task in front of me. KSI jumps around, he does all these things. But at the end of the day, once you taste that first jab in the mouth, you don't want to come in so much. And that's exactly what happened with Jake Paul. He tasted a jab, tasted a bit of the power, and you didn't see him come in. You didn't see him swarm all over me because he was very wary of what was coming back. And I expect the same here.
Jake Paul publicly tweeted offering you the rematch.
Yeah.
Why did you pick this fight over that one?
Because I'd already been there, already done that. I wanted a new challenge. KSI, he's from the same country I'm from. It'd be a big fight. It's an ultra big fight over here, both from the UK. So why not? At the end of the day, I've got a chance to eliminate both men. And that's exactly what I said I would do at the start. And that's exactly what I'm going to do in just under 7 weeks.
So Jake wants the rematch.
Mm-hmm.
KSI calls for the fight.
Yeah.
Logan, who is also on this card, Jake's brother, he's gone on record as saying he wants the fight.
Yeah.
Does being in demand distract in any way?
It's kind of nice that you got all these massive celebrities and big star pullers all wanting to fight me. But listen, they can't keep my name out of their mouth, can they? Every single thing I see of Jake Paul or even Logan now, it's always about me. Oh yeah, what did he say? I think, he's on my radar, I can be on plenty of his radar, not a problem. He's 0-4, he's the most useless one yet. I think he's the worst out of all of them. So at the end of the day, I'm going to steamroll. In my opinion, I've beat the best out of all this crap what's going on. YouTube boxing, I beat the best one there, Jake Paul. So this for me, I'm going to train even harder for this fight. I'm going to put on more of a statement, and this one will not go the distance. Jake Paul is a heavier, bigger man, had somewhat knowledge of the fight game, good people around him, good sparring, fights. This man has no clue. He's no clue. He hasn't got any preparation for this. He's coming off a man, well, I don't even know who that guy was, Joe Fournier. He's just whatever he is. So he's going to find himself in a lot of trouble come October 14th.
Well, we saw you there ringside
Yeah.
for the Joe Fournier fight. What did you think of the performance of KSI that night?
Honestly, I'd seen fights like that when I was 12. Little kids bouncing up and down with a head guard on. Lunging in. It's honestly, when you grew up around boxing, you see fights like that out of kids. When you get to a certain level in boxing, actual boxing, that doesn't cut anymore. If he tried to do that against even a very low level professional, he'd be knocked out cold within a round. He lunges in, no defence. What do you think's going to happen? I mean, fair enough, he's got away with it up until now because he's never fought a proper boxer before. But wait until, someone's got something waiting for him. It'd be a different story.
I know this is a question you're going to get asked a lot, but Tyson, does he help you train? I saw some sparring footage recently. Do you train a lot with him? Does he give you these tips and this advice?
Yeah, that was a while ago, to be fair, that sparring footage. But we train like that all the time. He's only an hour away from me. Sometimes I go up there, we'll do 15, 16 rounds of that. He's always on the other end of the phone. Right now he's in training camp for his own big fight, just 2 weeks after mine. But at the end of the day, the way I see it, Tyson's always there to offer me help, but these guys, I don't and shouldn't need any help with these guys. If I've got any ambitions in boxing, these guys should be made mincemeat, to be honest. And that's something that I was slightly angry about myself last time. I knew I could have got Jake Paul out there. Should have pressed on the gas a little bit more, should have done this, should have done that. But at the end of the day, it's a great fight to watch back because now, this time around, I won't make them same mistakes again, and I will get this man out of there.
What are your ambitions in boxing?
Like I said before, my ambitions in boxing is to be a world champion. And everything I've ever said in my life, I've done. Whatever that field may be, whatever I've set out to do, I've accomplished it. So, you've got to kind of look at it as if am I going to let KSI, a YouTube turned boxer, stand in the way of that? And definitely not. He couldn't beat me. 100 times out of 100 times, he'd lose 100 times because he just is not a better fighter than me. And that's just the way it goes. He's just not better than me. So, everyone's going to find out. Again, I feel like I'm doing ×2 on the whole Jake Paul thing, on the build up to that. Everyone was talking and talking and talking, but I'm sick of talking. I went back and forth with Jake for like 2.5 years. And now this is just another fight. Another idiot, really, that's going to get ironed out.
So with that in mind, with your boxing ambitions, still there to be fulfilled. Have you thought about who next? Which path do you want to go if you're successful against KSI?
When I'm successful against KSI, I don't know. You know, my life at the minute, you know, I couldn't have sat here and told you, you know, 5 years ago that I'm going to be fighting Jake Paul, fighting KSI, doing this, doing that. I wouldn't have told you that. I thought I'd be fighting journeyman, step up to an English title, step up to a British title, etc., etc. So I really don't know. You know, I just focus on one fight at a time. You know, I have a man KSI in front of me that I'm going to take care of him, and then we're going to sit down like we do after every single fight, and we'll see which path makes sense.
Away from boxing for a moment, I want to ask you, the horror movie. Do you maybe have eyes and ambitions for Hollywood one day? If you move into that genre, what would you rather be, the bad guy or the hero?
Depends. It depends. I think, you know, I want to do a bit of each. You know, I don't know. I've got no experience. You know, I've got a little bit of experience in acting. I've done a few things, but nothing like that. And I just think, you know, that for me would be like a bucket list. You know, I'm not here to be the next Robert De Niro or Leonardo DiCaprio. I've got no interest in that. I just want to do horror films, because from a young lad, I loved horror films, horror film fanatic. So if I can star in one day, that'd be amazing for me. And I think that's on the cards.
Just finally, Tommy, bringing it back to our show, give me a prediction for your fight against KSI.
My prediction is that KSI will be lucky to get out of round 1. I've watched the Jake Paul fight back, and he's in for it big time. I'm sick of playing games with these guys. These guys, he's going to get obliterated.
Tommy, best of luck.
Thank you.
See you on October 14th.
Appreciate it.